What is up, guys? Welcome to the video. This is Edgar with 5 More Active and the 25-pound Mass Maker Blueprint. If you don't know me by now, I am a certified advanced personal trainer and nutrition coach, and I specialize in bulking. I take a skinny person to gain 25 pounds of solid muscle, pure muscle, in a healthy, sustainable way where they're not gonna lose their gains but keep them for a long term. I can relate to being skinny, so that's why I'm so passionate about helping other males gain weight, and also not only gain weight but gain confidence in themselves. In today's video, I'm gonna take you through the 3-pillar 25-pound Mass Maker Blueprint, which is probably what you need to fill in the gap of what you're actually missing to gain those 25 pounds. I want you to make sure that you watch the whole video to the very end, because every single piece of this pillar is super important for you to gain those 25 pounds and for you to keep them. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I'm gonna be using my program and how my clients got amazing results, and to show you, to help you understand, you're gonna get a ton of value from this video. So like I said before, watch it to the very end. It's gonna help you gain those 25 pounds. And by the end of this video, you will know exactly how to put on 25 pounds of muscle and keep it on for good. So before we continue, I just wanna make sure that we're both on the same page and we don't waste our time. This video is intended only for skinny guys that are trying to get buff. Any guys that are at least trying to put on 25 pounds, dealing with low self-esteem. And you may have heard at times being called a skinny guy, Skinny Bone Jones. You need to put on some weight. You look like a kid from Africa. Even to the point where girls have told you, I like you, you're cute, but you're just way too skinny. And it's only for you guys that are absolutely ready for change. You've decided in your heart, man, I need to get this area of my life fixed. I'm not gonna waste any more time. I'm just gonna take action today. If this does sound like you, then go ahead, focus, and just watch the video all the way to the end. If this doesn't sound like you, you're still kind of thinking about it, you're still kind of have that procrastination, I would just say, come back to this video when you're in a better place and you're ready to take action. So, first and foremost, I'm always very transparent and honest. This isn't just a simple magic pill that you take and then bang, bulk up 45 pounds. You gotta put in the work. This works for people that actually apply the knowledge, apply the concepts and the 3-step system that has helped me and has helped many others gain the weight, but not only gain the weight, but also gain confidence, self-esteem, knowing who they are. And that's the most important thing. Is this body is a bonus, but who you are, the confidence you have in yourself, that's number one right there. And the people that it doesn't work for are those that choose not to follow the information given to them and tend to just give up on themselves. So you have to put in the work. If you're anything like me in the beginning stages, I had a lot of excuses, a lot of fear that was preventing me from growing into the man that I've become. And I just had this victim mentality where I thought the world owed me everything. And I didn't want to work hard for anything. So I dealt with a lot of those issues. I was also super busy, working 8+ hours per week, going to school. And I still managed to get this part of my life situated. I was able to put on weight, put on good muscle, and I was able to do it for other people too. College students, CEOs, people with extremely busy schedules. This program, these guidelines that I'm about to give you are tailored for any type of schedule. So you don't have to make the excuse like, oh, I don't have time for it. There's time. And I guarantee you, you have even an overflow of time. So now I just want to take you through some real life scenarios with real people that have gone through some struggles. Maybe you're dealing with these struggles. So I just want to kind of show you the belief that this can be you too. To get started with Josh, he started off with seeing some minimal gains, but then life would hit and he wasn't consistent. What would happen is he would put on some weight, but then immediately he would drop back down. So his metabolism was so fast that he couldn't gain any weight, and it was frustrating for him because he felt like he was putting in the work, he felt like he was eating a lot, but the scale would just go up and then it would just drop back down. So it was very discouraging for him. In 2 months, you see the chest, how it's forming. He's able to build his chest, and he's able to get his arms definitely more muscular and more toned. So they're not as flabby, they're not that skinny fat. And then you can see abs for the first time because we started to really target those abs. So it really started to bring in that taper look. Josh ended up putting on 10 pounds of muscle, and he overcame that social anxiety or not being good enough whenever he goes to the gym. And now he walks into the gym like super confident, and he just loves the process. He may not be where he want to be, but he just keeps going, and he's just confident within himself. And he's telling me now that he's able to start a conversation with a stranger, and he's able to talk with the girls that he likes. He was super shy. He didn't even approach them. And he told me that he never approached any girls that he likes. He was just so fearful of rejection, but now he's going up to them and starting conversations like, hey, my name's Josh, and he still has the confidence to go up to them. Or in Rick's case, you may be battling an appetite issue where you don't have the appetite to eat the foods that you need to eat to put on the weight. After we started to really work on his appetite and build it gradually over time through the same system in this program, he was able to put on 10 pounds of muscle. But you notice that in his body, there wasn't that much definition, but you can tell, like, man, you can tell this is solid muscle because in his figure, his shoulders are popping out more, his chest is more defined, and Rick is in the best body that he's ever been in his whole life. And guys, he did this while working 70 plus hours per week. This guy was super busy at work, doing nonstop admin work. And he would tell me, I don't know how I'm gonna be able to do it. I work 70 plus hours. I barely have any time to eat. But goes to show, it was the mindset. And we had to really work on the mindset. We had to work on making his appetite come alive. Or you may be like Michael, where he spent years in a plateau where he didn't see any definition. He just stayed basically the same, and he knew how to work out. He studied workouts. He studied the greats like Charles Glass and Arnold Schwarzenegger, but for some reason, he was not putting on weight. After being in my program for 5 months, he was able to put on 20 pounds of solid muscle. And basically, we just started to incorporate a lot of the different movements that are required to cause muscle confusion. So again, if you're stuck in a plateau, it's not something to be discouraged about. You just need the right information to get you from point A to point B. Or you might be like James, where you're a complete beginner. So you never exercised ever in your life. And fortunately, you know, growing up, you were made fun of, like you were called a stick figure, Skinny Bone Jones, and feel like you need to put on weight. You need to put on muscle to develop that confidence with himself. But I'm here to tell you, yeah, that's a bonus. We're gonna put on muscle for you, but you have to understand that it's a mindset issue, okay? So if you don't have the right mindset, it doesn't matter how much weight you put on, you're still gonna feel small on the inside. So my goal is not only for you to put on those 25, 30 pounds that you're looking for, but also love yourself from within. You develop that confidence where you're not anxious looking at the scale going down and you're like, man, I'm losing weight, I'm skinny, and you just hear these voices, these tormenting voices. So I just really want to encourage you that if you're a beginner, man, this is a program for you, man. I'm passionate about this. I wish I had this when I was growing up, and I'm thankful that I get to give back. And James did just that. He overcame anxiety, self-defeat, and all these negative thoughts and negative words that were spoken over him. And he was able to put on 25 pounds, but not only put on 25 pounds, but he knew who he was on the inside. And that is the beauty of this program. Not only are you getting strong, you're getting big, you're developing that inner strength that can't be bought with any money. It's already in you, but we have to unlock it. And again, I know all these struggles because I was stuck in that same position. I was 5'11", 137 pounds, soaking wet, anxious, depressed, just felt like a failure. I felt like nobody liked me. I felt awkward whenever I would talk to someone new, and I had a super fast metabolism. I could not put on weight, and I would constantly, every hour, look at the scale. I would jump on the scale, and if I lost a pound, man, that end of my day, and I would constantly be weighing myself. It got very obsessive because of the internal issues that I went through, and I had to identify that there were some scars deep within that I had to heal from. And it wasn't until I found a program and a coach through IFPA that taught me how to be a confident alpha male and know exactly what kind of workouts I need to do, what kind of food I need to eat. And it wasn't just a straight shot. There was obviously some trials, some ups, some downs, but in the end of the day, I ended up getting to my goal. I put on 48 pounds of muscle. I got up to like 185 pounds, and right now I'm at 185 pounds, and I'm still growing. I'm thankful that I went through all those ups and downs, because now I have the authority to say that you have no excuse. You can be in the same position that I am at 185 pounds with confidence within themselves, happily married, 2 children, just blessed. And that's my mission, is to help males, skinny males, introverted males, develop that confidence from within and put on that muscle too. You want to look strong, you want to look big, and I'm going to show you exactly with this 3-step program. So I wish this program was there for me from the beginning, because as you know, the industry leans more towards fat loss. And if I would have had this blueprint when I was growing up, I felt like things would have been different. But I'm glad that things went the way they did, because now it helps me to relate to your situation where we're at, and I can guide you through all these little steps. It's a proven method. It's worked for me, it's worked for hundreds of people, and it's gonna work for you. And now we're gonna transition into our 3-step 25-pound mass maker blueprint. And this blueprint is broken down into 3 pillars. The first one being solid groundwork, which also has sub-pillars. It has to do a lot with mindset. The second pillar is reconstructing the dream body. So this also has sub-pillars where we have nutrition, we have actual strength training workouts and supplements. And then the third pillar is confidence through strength training. This is called the atomic accountability. So number 1 is solid groundwork. So this is broken down into sub-pillars, and the first sub-pillar being mindset. So in order to see great results, you have to have a healthy mindset. You have to have healthy thoughts, positive thoughts about yourself. As cliche as it sounds, you are what you think. You're living in what you've spoken in the past. And it's super crucial we recognize those limiting beliefs and we learn how to let them go, because they're preventing us reaching our goals. And you might be thinking, when you saw this video, wow, these guys are getting great testimonials, and you may be thinking like, dang, that's really good. But in the back of your mind, you're saying, well, it works for them, but it's probably not going to work for me. And that's a lie, because we're no different. You might be thinking that we're unique or other people are unique, but we're not unique. This can be the same results for you. We need to start shifting our mindset, growing healthy mindsets. We call them strongholds, because we have negative strongholds and then we have positive strongholds. So we have to replace those negative strongholds with positive strongholds in your mind, because without it, you're not gonna see results. You're gonna find a way to self-sabotage and you won't finish. You'll probably end up quitting and blame it all on the program. And this will happen over and over in your life. And you may be thinking, man, all I am is a skinny guy, because that's all you've been told by your family, by even friends, and just people name calling you, and they don't even know that they're doing damage, and they're building an identity in you, a self-image on the inside of you. And you have to replace that. You have to think in where you want to be instead of in your past. So one of the things that we get from our scripture is speak to those things that are not as though they are. So we need to apply this. It's not just law of attraction. This is from the inside. You can create your future, but you have to shift that identity, and it takes a lot of accountability. And this shift has to keep occurring until we have that goal. We got to keep shifting our mindset day in, day out. We're never stagnant. We're always growing. I always say you got to be comfortable being uncomfortable. So another critical component is there can't be no plan B in this. I hear this a lot from people saying, well, I kind of want to try it out month to month because I want to see where I'm at. And what they fail to realize is that they're setting themselves up for failure. There's going to be times when you're on this bulking journey that there's going to be rough weeks. And if you have a plan B mentality, you're more than likely, you're going to quit. You're going to find a way of escape, and you're going to say, man, it's too hard. And that's going to be the rest of your life. The guys that have the best transformations and that get results are those that just go forward and just dive in and take action. You're not going to get any results by hesitating and just thinking about it. You have to go all in if you want to really achieve your bulking results. On the other hand, I get these New Year's resolution guys that they start off freaking on fire, going to the gym 8 times a week, freaking working out 4 hours a day, and then the next week they get burnt out. They don't have the same motivation. And to be honest, if you're basing your results off of how you feel, you're never gonna get to your transformation goal. So I get this a lot. I have to wait till I get motivated in order for me to commit to this program. If you're waiting to find the perfect time, the right circumstances, everything's aligned in your life for you to start a program, you're never gonna begin your journey. That kind of a perfectionist kind of mindset is what's keeping you from getting to your results, man. And once you understand that you can't just think about it, you have to do what you say. You have to take action. I think this is where we're missing the mark, is that we don't understand our limiting beliefs, our mindset, and how we need to unlock it in order for us to reach our full potential and reach our bulking goals. And that's what we go over step by step in the Mass Maker program. Now that we've covered mindset, I want to go into nutrition. And there's a lot here, so I'm going to try to keep it as simple as possible. So the goal for us to bulk up is we need to consume more calories than we're burning. So the number that I like to think about is your total calorie intake, or as I like to label it, TCI. Okay, so this is how it works. First thing that we do is we go on calculator, macrocalculator.net, and we get an estimate of our TCI. Okay, so then you're gonna put in all your info, like your weight, your height, your age, and your activity level, and it's gonna give you a number just like this, where you see on the screen. So I say estimate because this calculator is not perfect, but it will definitely give us a great range for where our TCI is at, and then based off of our weekly check-ins, we'll adjust accordingly to get you the results. So after we input those numbers and we get our TCI, now we set goals. We want to know how much weight we want to gain and at the rate that we want to gain, because sometimes you don't want to gain weight too fast because you'll gain too much fat instead of muscle. So just for reference, 1 pound of energy is equivalent to 3,500 calories. So if we did the math, if you want to put on 1 pound of muscle, you need to consume 3,500 calories per week. So if you divide 3,500 by 7, that would be 500 calories per day. So you would have to be in a 500 calorie surplus every day. But before you go into a surplus, you need to find out your TCI. What is your calorie maintenance? And then based off of that, you add 500 calories so that if you wanted to add 1 pound per week. And if you wanted to double up for the week and gain 2 pounds, per week, then you would have to intake 1,000 calories. And I know what you're thinking, that is way too much food. But I'm here to tell you that there was some guys that would be struggling with appetite, that would get nauseous, especially they were trying it on their own, trying to gain too much weight. And the men that I worked with that had trouble with their appetite, ones that gained 25 pounds, they're now enjoying what they eat. And when they want to go into like a cutting phase, they're having a little bit of trouble with that. The next one is macros, and this is my favorite. So you have your TCI, you have your calories that you're supposed to intake, but they have to be broken down into macronutrients. Those macronutrients are protein, fats, and carbs. So protein is for rebuilding muscle, carbs and fats are for energy. So we want to utilize these macronutrients in order for us to get to our goal. These macronutrients make up the calories. So what we want to do is we break up our meals into a portion of protein, a portion of carbs, a portion of fats. So carbs, remember, they're going to be for high intensity energy like lifting heavy. Fats are going to be utilized for like walking, doing cardio. The rule that I like to stick to is 30% protein, 50% carbs, and 20% fats. And the last part of nutrition is tracking. So what you want to do is you want to download MyFitnessPal. On the program that I'm teaching, I do have a macro calculator where I'm tracking all of your calories, your protein, with a simple click. But MyFitnessPal links up to the account, and I'm able to track all your food that's coming in. So I know exactly what's going in. So let's say like you had a question on something, I would be able to answer that right away because I can see it on my end. And then once you input it, like we can both see it, and then we can make adjustments. A lot of the guys, they think that just by drinking a protein shake and getting high protein, they're gonna bulk up, but that's not the case. The goal is that we want to get a healthy balance, but we want to focus on intaking our carbs because that's what's going to get us more mass, carbs and fats, but also the protein high because you want that gains to be muscular and not just fat. Last part of nutrition is tracking. So what you want to do is download MyFitnessPal. On the program that I'm teaching, I do have a macro calculator where I'm tracking all of your calories, your protein with a simple click. But MyFitnessPal links up to the account, and I'm able to track all your food that's coming in. So I know exactly what's going in. So let's say if you had a question on something, I would be able to answer that right away because I can see it on my end. And then once you input it, we can both see it and we can make adjustments. And I'm not gonna go too deep into this part of the video. I'm gonna explain it further in another video, but supplements are so effective for you to gain weight. I mentioned this in my reels that you have to buy a gainer, and one of the supplements that I recommend is creatine. Creatine helps you bulk up, it helps your body push through fatigue whenever you're working out, and it helps you push those extra reps, which as a result, you build more muscle. So in this program, I go super in depth with supplements. I give you a custom meal plan based off of allergies, if you're allergic to any food, based off of your preference. It doesn't matter. I've seen people that are vegetarian, also vegans. I can program you a meal plan, and then you want to make it fun, right? And I want you to be eating the same thing over and over. But the most important thing is that you're enjoying working out, you're enjoying your food, and you're enjoying your bulking journey. So the next part would be training. So this is super huge because training is so critical when building muscle and gaining weight. What happens is there's a lot of information online, and it's great, right? You get all these apps, but they fail to have the customization factor in there. So a lot of the workouts that I'm giving to a lot of the guys, they're getting customized workouts that are going to help them based off of their schedule, ranging from 3 to about 6 days. So the programs are not one size fits all. And when you have generic apps and information online, it's less effective than having someone that's holding you accountable, that's actually programming you the workouts and customizing them based off of your goals. And some of the guys that train work out at home, some of them work out of the gym. And perfect example is Brandon. He started off at his house and had the whole gym equipment. So some equipment is better than no equipment. So wherever you're starting off, we'll meet you where you're at, and then you will build confidence from there. So here's how to approach your workout plan. I use the IFPA, the International Fitness Professional Association workout plan. So there's 5 phases in this plan. So the first plan is stabilization, and number 2 is strength endurance, part 3 muscular development and hypertrophy, and then maximal strength and power. These last 2 are not really relevant for where you're at now, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna start to develop the first 3 phases in order to meet you where you're at. So start off the stabilization phase of the program. Right here, we're basically developing the mind to muscle connection, and we're essentially getting the muscles ready for the following phases. So reps, high reps and low weight, 50 to 70% of your max rep. And this phase lasts about 4 to 6 weeks, depending on your progression, depending at your level of fitness. And this phase, we're just increasing balance and we're increasing proprioceptive demand, which means that your body's aware of where it's at in space. And to find out what 50-70% of your 1 rep max, because that's the weight that we're going to be dealing with for 4 to 6 weeks, low weight, 12 to 20 reps. I'm going to walk you through this app where we can figure it out mathematically how much reps you're supposed to do. The next phase, which is strength and endurance, this is the gateway where we move from stability to muscular endurance. So basically, in fancy terms, is where you're able to hold tension for a longer time. And usually this phase, we're around 8 to 12 reps. And this phase takes about 2 to 6 weeks. And we're really focusing on time under tension and increasing the weight amount so that you can see the results. This phase, I like to keep the tempos more so 2 seconds coming down, immediately exploding up, to the stability where you're going 4 seconds coming down and then pressing it up. But the stability phase, essentially we're doing lower weight. We also start to introduce the supersets and drop sets. So the way a superset works is, let's say you do a barbell bench press for strength, 8 to 12 reps, immediately you would go into a push-up phase and do about 8 to 10 reps. And that would be like your stability training. So I want to have about 3 supersets per session, and that would really help in this phase. The next phase is probably one of the most exciting phases, because this is where you start to really see the results. And typically the reps are 3 to 6 sets, and we're going to 75 to 80% of maximum load. We really want to focus on progressive overload because we also want to avoid any type of injury. But at this phase, all your joints, your muscles have already gone through the endurance process. So right now, what we're doing is we're pushing till failure. So remember that when you're pushing till failure, you're causing tension on the muscle and you're causing it to grow the next week. And that is the phase 3. And I'm not gonna get too much into depth on these last 2 phases, but what I want to do is I want to transition into the special software that I have. It's called PT Hub. And basically on this PT Hub, I'm going to be telling you the exact sets, the reps, the weight that you should be utilizing. There's going to be notes in there. I'm going to have different videos of me actually performing the exercise, showing you the technique and the form. And that's the most important part, is that doing a customization for you, and that we're meeting you where you're at. Every week we're checking in. Every week we're seeing the gain. We're seeing the growth. So it's amazing to see this program come to life. And like I mentioned before, each guy is gonna have customization, custom program, a different set of limitations. It's not one size fits all, but it's very customized and unique and tailored for your specific goal. Not to mention that I'm gonna have in-depth detailed course every week, because we're gonna be doing 2 group calls and we're gonna be learning at the same time, because I'm not just gonna make you the program. I'm gonna show you why this workout, why I'm giving you the workout, why I'm giving you, the calories that you need to be intaking. And that's the most important part, so that you can use this information and keep it and know how to work out for the rest of your life. And the last portion of this program is going to be accountability. So this is super huge because I started off, I tried to do it on my own and I failed. Most clients that I work with failed too because they were missing this part of their weight training journey. There's a sense of connectedness and there's a sense of power when we're all in unity. So in this accountability, you're going to be added to a community of like-minded brothers that are all trying to gain weight, that all have the information. They come from different backgrounds, different walks of life, but we get that sense of camaraderie and it just creates this powerful motivation. And I think that's super big because honestly, if we're trying to do it on your own, you've been doing it on your own, but if you don't want that sense of community and you want the results, you wouldn't be watching this video. And I think that's a pivotal piece that you're missing in this program. Where we're doing those weekly calls where we're going in depth on different areas, the mindset, the nutrition, the training, and I'm showing you in detail what is expected for you to gain and to put on those 25 pounds of muscle, for you to have that confidence to be able to start up any conversation and not have fear. And after doing this program, it leads to self-sufficiency. Like I mentioned before, I don't want you to just rely on me. The reason I'm doing this program is for you to learn the skills of how to bulk, how to have the confidence, how to have the mindset where you're not quitting, breaking those limiting beliefs and building new ones. And with this course, you get a lifetime support. When you do those group calls, those weekly group calls, after you're done with the program, you can feel free to come in, listen in, and we're gonna be there with support, because at the end of the day, I want you guys to succeed. What's the point of hiring a coach that when you're done working with the coach, you don't know exactly what he did? If when you're done, you didn't learn anything, and then once you're done with the coach, you're back to square one. I want you to know why you're eating the foods that you eat, why you're doing the reps, the sets, everything. And right now, guys, with this video, I've given you all the tools for you to escape that high school physique and go from skinny to bulking. But right now, there's two pathways that you can take. So you can take all the information that I've laid out for you and try it on your own, get some results, but know that you're gonna have to put the time, you have to do that learning curve, or you hop on a call and you escape that learning curve, because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go more in depth with you and figure out your situation, figure out where the mindset, the limiting beliefs, your schedule, where your fitness level is at. So when you join the program, you're gonna get a customized nutrition plan based off of your schedule, what you like, what kind of foods you like. And obviously there's going to be change. You're not going to get the same meal plans every week. You're also going to be getting customized workout strength training program, because you're going to be added to my software, and I'm going to be working with you one-on-one. They're always going to be customized workouts, so they're never going to be the same. There's not a one size fits all. And then you're going to be, more importantly, you're going to be added to that community, so you're going to understand and learn power of just being in community, being with like-minded brothers, because that's gonna hold you accountable and it's gonna keep you from quitting, and there's gonna be lifetime access to that. How much is that worth? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna attach a free call link in the video below. It's just gonna ask you to book a time and a date, and it's gonna ask you a couple of questions just to be better prepared for the call. And honestly, if you're still skeptical about the online coaching, the point I want to make is, if you do in-person training, it's costly for the level of support that you're getting, because at the end of the day, they're collecting a paycheck. If you come in, they get paid. So you're not going to be getting the accountability, you're not going to be getting the customized nutrition program, you're not going to be getting the support. And that's the most important part, is that we want to get you from being skinny to putting on 25 pounds of muscle. So with that being said, I look forward to having a call with you. Again, the link is down below, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.